I want you to tell me all about that. Tell me what you were doing at that time, how much you weighed, um, and that was 1981. Is that right? When you graduated from college?
80.
80.
I
Okay.
graduated in 79, December of 79, so I started in January of 80.
Uh huh.
Probably weighed 123,
Uh huh.
a little less than what I weigh now,
Uh huh.
and started at General Dynamics. I ended up getting my job there because Reggie got a job with his dad's, I call it his dad's company, but it was Texas Kenworth, the company his dad worked at in Fort Worth. So I actually carpooled back and forth to Fort Worth with the guy that eventually his daughter, the dad became my boss. And he was a pretty unpopular boss. Had a lot of turnover under him because he was kind of hard to work with. But I came into that group. I had 18 hours of computer science, but I had a psychology degree. And that was enough to get me in on that job.
What was the job?
Computer programmer, basically. I started programming in Fortran and writing little programs to help the people that programmed the airplanes. And one of the first programs I wrote was one to do graphing that they were doing up to that point. They were doing by hand. They were graphing how much productivity they had, how much work they were doing in terms of money charged to projects and so forth. And I wrote a program this was back in the old days, before Excel, before PowerPoint, before any of those, where I had to actually write programs to say if it is 50 hours a week across 2 months, then that's actually an inch and a half up the graph on the y-axis and an inch on the x-axis. So draw a line between those 2 points. So it was really a little bit of math involved in it. And I got hired in at GD. I remember being hired in January 21st. I graduated mid-December and constantly calling the guy who was going to be my new boss and saying, when can I start? When can I start? When can I start? Because I wanted to start work so badly and start getting a paycheck and so forth. Whereas I look back on it now and go, I could have waited a couple of months.
Yeah.
But at the time, Reggie and I had been married in September, but we never lived together until December. And then I was just sitting around in our one-bedroom apartment waiting to go to work. We eventually bought a house in May. This was December and January, that we lived at for 12 years. But
That's all?
we owned the house for 18 years.
Okay.
We lived in it for 12 till the girls were 6 and 4. But it was a little 3-bedroom house with 1 bath. But back at the time we got out of college, both of us had been living hand to mouth all the way through college. I never asked Mom and Pop for money my last semester, even though I had to quit work my last semester because I was taking 18 hours of schooling, 9 hours of computer science. It was killing me. I had to quit work. And I really kind of ended up almost starving during that time, but I didn't want to ask Mom and Pop for more money. So I was so excited to finally get a regular paycheck. I remember one of the first things we bought was a nice big striped brown and beige couch that we thought was wonderful with a pull-out bed, which I believe you slept on many times.
Uh-huh.
And loved that couch. And I think we bought a roll-top desk over the years. And that roll-top desk you have coveted over the years.
Uh-huh.
And then a big leather desk chair that we used at the desk. We still have to this day, so that would be about 25 years old. It's got a big split in it, but we love that chair.
Mm-hmm.
And getting out in the real world wasn't that different. I just remember everybody being in their 30s or 40s, and me being 21 and I turned 22 within 2 months after I started working. And really neat because the people, they were older, but you were able to talk to them and work with them and everything. Eventually, within 3 or 4 years, I moved into another group, and it was so unusual because they were my age. Everybody was a year or two around my age, rather than everyone being 10 or 20 years older than me.
Hmm.
So you start out, you're the baby, and then eventually you get around and you've got people your age. And right now, I'm in my mid 40s, but most of the people I work with are in their mid 40s too. The average age, I'm at Alcon Labs now, eye care products. The average age there is like 44, 45, and I'm 46, so pretty much average.
Yep. All right. So tell us what advice you have for Abby when she gets out in the real world. What should she do different than what you did? What kind of bad mistakes did you make?
I didn't make any mistakes. I really ended up getting into exactly what I wanted to be doing for a long time. My mistake was starting out in college as pre-med, realizing I didn't want to study enough to be able to make it into med school. I would have needed a 3.5 GPA or higher, and I had always had it so easy in high school that I was lazy in college.
Yeah.
And just didn't think I should have to study that much. So my GPA ended up being a 3.1, which was enough to keep my scholarship. And so I decided my last year of college to get a minor in computer science, which is really what I have a real gift for and I've done real well in. But that psychology degree is, really just been, I wouldn't say it's worthless because I learned a lot through it, but it's good to get a degree or be able to get a job in something you like, something you enjoy doing, because I found now doing it for 25 years, I've gotten kind of bored with it. But being paid so well after 25 years makes it kind of hard to quit.
Golden handcuffs.
Yeah, getting a kind of obscure degree that maybe you really like it, it's a problem. Trying to get a real world job in that kind of degree.
Yep.
And back in the day, when I got my computer science minor, they were taking people with 6 hours of computer science at GD, General Dynamics, because they said, "Did you have calculus?" And I said, "Yeah," and they said, "Great," and hired us in.
You got
it's
in?
not that easy now.
You got in during the computer gold rush.
Yeah, when they didn't have computer people, and so they would take anybody with any kind of degree. I even taught a college course right before I had Hillary, 2 different semesters, and again they said 6 hours. That's all we needed. I taught Introduction to Computing, no lab, which was a dummies class, and then I taught Introduction to Programming, with a 1-hour lab, which was still kind of a dummies class, but it kind of weeded out the people. But try to get a degree in what you want to do, because Reggie got a degree in forestry and never used it. Ever.
Yeah.
He worked in the trucking company, and he's worked as a Fort Worth policeman and never used that forestry degree.
So going back to 1980, who were the most important people to you at that time?
It's probably Reggie and the family. Really wasn't professors from college or the people I worked with. It was my family. And Reggie was kind of everything.
Your family being Reggie.
No, I mean Mom and Pop and
Yeah.
all of y'all. But Reggie took up a lot of time, and I was away from the family up in Fort Worth, so it was a big part of my life back then.
How do you think things were different 25 years ago than they are today? What major things do you think are different today?
Well, computer computers were brand new back then. There weren't people who had minors, much less even classes in computer
Yeah.
science.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it a pretty good market. It was almost the people who were kind of the math geeks and computer, who had taken a few computer classes, so that made it real easy to get in. I know Hillary had wanted to go into computers, but she feels like everybody is so far ahead of her in computers now that that's different.
Yep. It
And
changes all the time.
yeah, and back then computers was more of an engineering degree
Yeah.
than it was a business degree or anything, so that was different.
Yeah. What about the world do you think was different, other than computers?
Well, we were a lot less mercantile back then. You know, we were just interested in getting an apartment or
You
getting
mean
a house.
you and Reggie?
Yeah,
Okay.
Reggie and I, in terms of, there was a whole lot less, let's go out and just shop all the time for entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
like we do now. I think it was less, again, shopping oriented than what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
There were VCRs were just coming up, so there wasn't that much entertainment. No DVDs, microwaves just came in back then, so there wasn't quite as much to keep you at your house. Reggie and I back then probably played tennis 3 or 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
So we were doing a lot more outside activities than just sitting in the house.
Yeah.
So it's a very computerized world now. I know the girls on this cruise, every port stopped at a internet cafe just to keep up on all their internet stuff, and they're so tied into the internet. They're so tied into cable TV. None of that existed back then. You take whatever you could get on an antenna.
Yep.
So
Back then.
back then,
That's 25 years ago, and when this is going to be played, it's going to be 35 years ago.
or
40.
16 years
Oh,
from
40.
now, 41 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is going to be old technology.
Yeah, so you had a lot more outside entertainment than your computer or so forth. Keep talking to me.
Well, I want you to tell me about Abby today. What are your impressions of Abby today? What does she look like? What does she act like? 'Cause she's gonna be interested in that. I would be interested in that.
Abby seems full of life. She's a cute, cute little kid. So bright, so intelligent. Just like she reminds me of Haley a lot at that age. Just very bright, very precocious. Seems a little uncontrollable at times.
Mm-hmm.
I have a picture of her up on my board at work. I have 2 pictures. I have one with her little chin up on the side of a pool
Oh yeah, that's a
where
good
she looks very angelic.
one.
And then I have another picture of all of us sitting around in a lounge on a cruise, and everybody's smiling at the picture, and Abby's doing this.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And that's a very common picture of Abby. She can be real, "Ugh, I hate you all." And I remember her on a cruise in Cozumel when I was watching her, and she and I were paddling out in the water, and we got out of the water and we came back in, and you and Mitzi were gone for a while. And so I was still watching Abby, and she said, "I want to go back to the pool or back to the water." And I said, "No, Abby, you need to wait for your mom." She said, "No," and took off, running for the water. I managed to catch her right as she stuck that foot right in the water and yanked her out. And she was so angry with me, and she said, "I'm not going to invite you to my birthday party. You're not invited." I said, "Okay, but you can't get in the water right now. You're not invited." I said, "Okay, I probably wouldn't come anyway, but you're not coming to my birthday party." And I entertained her for a little while longer, but she was still pretty mad at me. So she is definitely a child with a will of her own. And that's a good thing.
Mhm.
That will take her in good stead later in life to be able to choose and decide what she really wants to do, which is kind of like Haley and kind of a thing that bugs us with Haley, but it's a good thing too.
And is that kind of like Lucy too, when she was that age?
I think I was kind of like that when I was a caregiver too. Wanted to make everybody happy and try to make everybody, take care of everybody too. So I had that independence, but I also had that. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to like me, which can be a problem in your life.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we should spend a few more minutes psychoanalyzing you. That is the purpose of this recording.
That's right.
Well, do you have any? There's Abby right now. Let's see if we can get her. There she is, right there.
She's a crazy woman.
I didn't know they were in there. So, what's your message to Abby when she's 22 years old? What do you want to say to her?
Try to find a job you love. Try to find something you really like doing. Because you may be doing it for quite some time. Try to enjoy your job and your life.
There you go. That's a good
My
one.
message.
Thank you, Lucy, so much for joining us today.
All right, I'll see you in 16 years.
Okay. Next up, we've got a new comedian coming in. Blah, 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 blah.